I'm sure we're live now. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kilted Chef Shack. Yeah, we're outdoors all week. We're into our amazing Warmth by Design Shack. And today we're promoting and talking about scrapers. The Juniper Scraper out of Newfoundland, Deer Lake. Amazing product. And we're going to talk about charcuterie board as well. But first, today's show is about learning how to cook a perfect steak on the barbecue. We could go fancy and do the green egg. We could do it on the Chicago searing side, but we're not. We're just going to do it on the grill that everybody has, or most people have. So what I've started by doing is turning all my burners on, and I've kept my cover down, and I've got my barbecue right now at 600 degrees. So as high as it'll get. It'll go up to 7, but right now 600 is good enough for me. But first, what I'm going to show you is a lot of people have been asking about the scrapers and what the purpose of the scrapers are. And of course, we've teamed up with them with Juniper. JuniperBBQ.ca is their website. But if you look at the actual .com.
Yeah. JuniperBBQScraper.com.
Well, I was close.
You were close.
Right? So it's the old saying, if .ca doesn't work, you always try .com anyway. So basically, we have those on our website, but we encourage you to go on their Facebook this week because they have some prize being given away this week, which I'm sure you guys would love. But here's the treat that we have for the rest of the month. From now till the rest of the month. If you go on our website and you purchase any of our charcuterie board, small, medium, or large, we will ship for free. Yep, we will ship for free wherever you want us to ship. All you have to do is click on local pickup and tell us where it's going, and we'll make sure it gets there for free.
But
right?
you do have to click local pickup in order to
otherwise
cancel
you'll be
out the
charged.
shipping.
Yeah, otherwise you'll be charged. All right. So I want to make sure. Okay, my scraper has arrived. What do I do with my scraper? Charlotte had a great question yesterday about how do I season them? What do I do with them? And you know what? You do not have to do anything to them. They're made out of juniper, of course, Juniper Scraper. And if you look at the base, the idea is so that you don't get any wire mesh or any issues on your actual meat or in your hamburgers or so on and so forth. It's a lot safer, of course. And there's many ways. I'm going to show you my well-loved one that's over here. And you'll see what I mean by the grooves. See? There is the grooves that I'm talking about. You see how you get the waves and so on and so forth at this top, and it's nice and flat, so you adjust your grooves to your barbecue, okay? For example, so if I don't want to take the heat away from this because I really want a nice charred barbecue, so I'm going to show you what I mean from the back here. So if I take this barbecue scraper and I scrub the grill that I used yesterday for the pizza, right? And just give it a scrape. All you're doing is going from one side to the other and scrape back and forth.
And that's done with your grill on?
That's done either with your grill on or your grill off, whichever you prefer. I'm a grill off kind of guy. I like to sear my steaks, sear whatever I'm barbecuing right on my grill. And I don't like to clean my grill till it's time to use it again because I find it seasons the grills. It keeps getting the grill nicer and nicer. And therefore, when I want to scrape it, I can just scrape it off. So that's a perfect action, right? So you would use that scraper. And as you can see, the actual wire or the stainless steel or the granite, whichever you prefer or whatever you have, will eventually form. And you're always using the same groove. And you just, that way it doesn't wear out, right? So that is how you use your scraper. And if it gets to the point where, I don't like the looks of it, you just buy a new one and get it over with, right? And some people say, well, my big grill, or if you have two grills, and my big grill is wider and my other one is narrower, well, that's when you buy the two scrapers and you use one for one barbecue and one for the other. You can use the same for both, but I'm just saying if you're that person that likes things done the right way, then you could do that. All right, so any questions related to that, ask away. Joe, any questions at all?
Not yet. You're just such a good teacher. You leave no room for questioning.
Is that what it is?
Until it's time to post the recipe, and then there's all kinds of questions.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been on a real streak lately. Sorry.
All right, guys. So one thing we made a mistake of yesterday is we forget that since last fall that we stopped cooking in the shack, we have a lot of new viewers, and it's not fair to them because they have no idea what this shack is about. So this shack is an extension of our deck, and it's that way I can have a private cooking area for doing special dinner parties on our deck or whichever. And there is a couple windows on the left. There's a big windows in the front. It looks a little bit of a Caribbean hut in a way, but it's all maritimized, if you want to call it that. And it's a lot of the equipment. Everything that's in here is actually a sponsorship from Warmth by Design, who are located in Onslow. Also, the owner of Barbecue Haven. And of course, we love
Heaven. Are we going to do that again all summer?
Haven.
Heaven.
Barbecue Heaven. Anyway, so that is awesome. We're all ready for the summer. We're going to grill here a lot. So you might as well get used to it. The sound is great. The looks and feel of this is beautiful.
And it keeps Joanne's kitchen clean.
And
so
it
she's
keeps
happy
the
too.
kitchen clean. We'll even barbecue dessert on Friday because that's our first week. All right, Joe.
Quite a few people are commenting on those steaks. So if you want a steak like that, you go to your butcher and you tell him you want the Fred Flintstone cut.
Well, no, though, this is a beautiful ribeye steak. I mean, if you look at it, and you guys, if you followed us on Saltscapes, right? Remember we had these 4 beautiful steak in the black box competition from PEI. So this is an Atlantic beef cut of meat. Beautiful, beautiful ribeye. But you're right, Joanne. You go to your butcher, whether that's Sobeys, Superstore, Ferguson's Abattoir, wherever, and you just specify, I want a bone-in ribeye, lots of marble, and I want it to be, like in this case, they're 1 inch thick. Right.
And so I learned very quickly on in our relationship that when I went to buy a ribeye, I had to see if the cap was on. Because when I came home with cap off, you were never happy. So can you explain what cap on, cap off means?
Well, the cap means that you've got this nice layer of fat. Look, I'm going to pick up the steak. And if you look at the steak the way it is, first you have the bone. And then you have the cap. Look at this nice prime rib cap. It's more or less the cross between a ribeye and a prime rib. Look how beautiful the cap is on that stuff. And that is super tender, very juicy. And look at that Atlantic beef beautiful marbling that we have going on, you know? I mean, I think Juniper Scraper people really picked the right episode to do this today because it's our first day back to the actual shack. And what a great way to get this going. So
are you saying the cap on just adds more flavor to your steak?
Big time.
Okay.
The more marble, the more flavor you are. The reason a Wagyu beef is so good is because it's so marbly in fat, right, Joanne? It's got so much flavor. So the first thing you want to do is bring your room at steak temperature. Bring your steak at room temperature and bring your barbecue on. So what I like to do when I turn my barbecue on to bring it the temperature that I want is when I bring my steaks out of the fridge. So they are nice room temperature. The first thing you're going to do is add some salt and some olive oil on top of your steak. If you don't have olive oil, regular vegetable oil will work. And the purpose for that is so your steak doesn't necessarily stick to that beautiful grill, right? And in our case, you're also going to use whatever your favorite seasoning is. But in our case, we're going to use the Badass Burger Booster because it's perfect on a steak as well. So I'm going to start first by seasoning this with coarse sea salt.
Okay, I've got 2 quick questions while you're doing that. Yesterday's Parmesan that went into the pizza crust, you can either use finely grated Parmesan, but we like to use the shaky Parm for that, as we call it. The processed Parmesan.
The processed Parm, yeah.
Shaky Parm.
Good.
That works really great in the pizza dough. And if the cap is off the steak, is it then called a prime rib steak?
Well, if the cap is off the steak, it's actually a sirloin. And usually no cap, no bone, that would be the sirloin. But if you have the cap on, or you could have a ribeye without the cap on, that especially at the tip end of the ribeye, there's no cap, and that works just as fine.
Chef Ivan says he is not eating it without the cap on.
That's right.
Lulu says, oh, look, he's back in his shorts. How do you know? Maybe there just wasn't any clean laundry today.
Oh, that's right.
You just never know.
You can't see the shorts, guys. All right. So basically, I put my salt. I want it to sit there, and actually, it's just going to dissolve into the meat. I'm going to put some badass, lots of badass.
And you can use any steak sauce if you don't have the badass.
Montreal steak spice. You can use whichever you prefer. And then I use my hand, and I just tap it in, just like that. So it gives you tons of flavor. Look how beautiful those steaks are, you guys. You cannot ask for any better than that. And this is Atlantic Canada beef, right? From Prince Edward Island, Atlantic beef, beautiful.
So how can you cook a steak that thick I mean, we like to eat ours medium rare, but say you like your steak medium well. How are you going to get it to medium well without burning the outside?
Well, you're going to have to juggle your grill to make sure that some areas, like you want a super hot grill to start, but if you like a well done steak, then you turn your grill to medium and let it slowly cook. And sometimes you may have to move it from the grill into the top, right? And if you're a medium well fan, maybe a thinner cut of steak would work just as good for you, right? All right, so I did the reverse this time. I probably should have put my salt first. That's okay. And now you're saying, well, that seems to be a lot. But you lose a lot when it goes on the grill. So I'm going to tap that, and I'm going to let these steaks sit right here till I'm ready to put them on the grill. Okay? Next up.
Margaret says, how do you know how to season a steak? Are there any tricks to be able to pick the right spice to use?
Your best bet is to go to our website and buy some badass Burger Booster, and that is a perfect seasoning, and add more salt to it, and you're all set. But you could even do a very good steak with just salt and pepper, Margaret. You don't need to go any fancy. Salt and pepper will do the trick as well, or any other seasoning that you like. So I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to dress my steak. Just a little bit like this, and then I'll flip it, and I'll do the same on the other side.
So, I don't want to belittle anyone's choice on how they like to eat their steak. But as a chef, how do you feel about a well-done steak?
Well, you know what? As a chef, I know a lot of chefs get really upset when people order well-done steak. And I know as a chef, a lot of people get really, really upset when they have ketchup with their steak. But in my opinion, if you're going to take the time to come to my restaurant and spend some of your hard-earned money, and you prefer a well-done steak and you want to eat it with ketchup, that is your prerogative. It does not matter to me whatsoever. Does it disappoint me? Yeah. But I would never say a word because it's really none of my business. If you're going to come to my restaurant and order a $30 steak and you're going to eat it with ketchup and you're going to have it well done, I'm going to cook it for you.
You and I both eat our steaks with HP sauce. What's the difference?
Well,
it's
exactly. We enjoy an HP sauce. So,
did you season both sides of the steak?
I did season both sides with salt and badass and some olive oil. That's all I've done so far.
And if you're cooking a steak, is propane or charcoal better?
No question, is a personal preference. It's entirely up to you. I'm not picking one or the other. Do I cook mine over charbroil? Of course I do. I love the taste of that char and that coal. But I also eat it quite often on the barbecue as well. So I like both. So I don't have a preference.
Do you ever marinate your steaks, or do you always rub them? And is there a time where you would marinate over using a rub?
I would marinate, including the rub, both, when I find the steak is going to be tough, or if it's a lower grade quality steak.
And you said that the oil is going to prevent the steaks from sticking to the grill, correct?
More or less. So you don't want, the thing is with the grill is once you commit to the grill, right? Once you put that steak on there, you're not going to move it to the 45-degree angle till it's no longer sticking. You don't want, it's the same as your burger, right? When you put your burger on, it'll stick, and you don't want it to rip it apart when you flip it. So you got to be patient. And one of the things we did yesterday, we were patient on our pizza, for example. It took a little longer. I probably should have had a little more coals in there and make it a little hotter. But you know what? In hindsight, we didn't. So we just left it at B. And I'm telling you, that pizza yesterday with that egg on there, I know There was one or two people that said, nope, no eggs for me on a pizza. But guess what? It was awesome. It really, really was. Steak is sitting there and it's resting.
And what temperature is the grill now?
Say that again.
What temperature is the grill?
My grill right now is fringing on 650.
And how do you feel about flipping your steaks with a fork?
I don't like flipping my steak with a fork. I always have a good set of tongs. Very important to me. There's something about puncturing the meat or cutting the meat to make sure it's ready. Those are wrong moves. We're going to show you the hand technique when it comes to it. But first, let's get our asparagus marinating, Joanne. Otherwise, they won't be great, right? So the first thing I'm going to do, I love this dish. Joanne, that was probably your best
Value
Village find that you've had in a long time. Look, a separation tray and a deep insert like this. So I'll be able to create the marinade and cover it all up. So fresh asparagus are out. Right now, this is the time. And remember, we've done this a few times, but in case you're new, all you do is you hold the stem with one hand and you reach your two thumbs and just push it. And wherever it's snapped, that's where it's ripe and ready to go. And you save your tops for your vegetable stocks or to do a soup. There you go, just like that. I'm going to just do all my beautiful asparagus bunch that I've got.
What's your opinion on grill mats?
I'm going to use a grill mat today. Yeah, I love grill mats. I love grill mats. It not only does it save your barbecue and a lot of cleaning because everything chars and goes on the bottom, but it also does a perfect job to the veggies.
Tammy says, Joanne, you are my people. I too love Value Village.
Joanne and Lisa have in their contract with the Kilted Chef only one thing. First, of course, there's more than one thing, but the most important thing is no matter where we're at, we go to Value Village and we stop at Frenchie's. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Gives me a chance to catch up with whatever I'm doing on emails. Look, nice snap. And these asparagus are Vermeulen Farms from the valley. They're just out. They're hard to find, but they're just coming into maturity. And we'll go from there. Look at that.
A quick comment. Susan did not like asparagus until she tried it grilled, and now she loves it.
There's something about the charring that just elevates the asparagus to the next level.
Do you have to preheat your grill mat?
I never do. You can, but I don't usually do.
You put it, because your grill is preheated.
And my grill is pretty hot, so I'm okay with that.
And can you use a grill mat on a charcoal barbecue?
Sure you can. There's no reason why you can't. All right, can I get this recipe done?
Keep going.
All right, so I'm going to take some cherry tomatoes, and I'm going to leave them whole, because I want them to blister, okay? So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put them on both sides of this marinating rack here, just like that. Look at that. Nice. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty just for a marinade. I'm not sure if it needs to be this pretty, but it is. So olive oil. Be generous on the olive oil. Like a good half a cup or so. Okay? Make sure it's well oiled. And from there, I'm going to use some maple syrup. Good maple syrup.
Marilyn says she puts her grill mat on when she turns on the barbecue. So I guess it becomes a personal preference.
Yeah, it is. You can if you want to. No question, it'll warm it up. But I know I'm going to have time between the steaks to marinate this. All right, so I got maple. I'm going to use some, I'm going to reach far here. I apologize. I'm going to use some balsamic vinegar.
Or you can use balsamic vinegar if you prefer.
Or balsamic vinegar, or Joanne's favorite saying, whatever it is. I'm trying to use up this bottle, so I might as well empty it up. There you go. That's one more down.
How much maple syrup do you think?
I'm going to say half and half at this point. Half a cup of oil, half a cup of maple syrup, and half a cup of
balsamic.
That stuff. All right, and I'm going to put some salt and pepper.
And normally, when you do this, you usually do this in the morning and let it marinate all day.
That's correct. But for the show, I wanted everybody to be able to see it. Okay, so lots of salt, pepper. And then I'm going to just put this on it for now. Okay. Oh, I busted a tomato while I go get my herbs. Here's some fresh chives from the garden.
Megan, Chef Megan has noticed that you're using Golden Isle
I am
balsamic.
using Golden Isle. Yes, that was the last of my Golden Isle till we go visit
It's
again.
time to go back to Georgia.
All right, so I'm going to move my asparagus down, and I'm going to take my chef knife.
Is it true that slender asparagus are better than the big thick ones?
Well, that all depends on how you chop them. If you have the slender one, there's no question they're a little more tender. But if you snap it where you're supposed to, the others will be just as tender. Now, you could take a time and take your peeler and peel the ends if you wanted to. That works as well. And that way you've got a longer meat or a longer asparagus.
Is that a full bunch of asparagus? And roughly how many tomatoes did you put in there?
I put approximately, there's only 2 of us for supper, so I put about 12 tomatoes, give or take. And yes, it is a full bunch.
Do you use Himalayan salt versus sea salt?
I don't. I use sea salt only. But that's just a personal preference again. Himalayan salt has got its purpose, of course. Look, I'm going to take this asparagus and I'm going to put it all in here. Not asparagus, but chives. Add it up. Nice flavor.
Jason says he really wishes they could have been here in person, and we wish that too. It's
We
always
wish
a
too,
lot
Jason.
of fun when Jason comes. And I'm just going to remind you of Jason's website again. It is juniperbbqscraper.com. I know Jason's got some great photos on there, some recipe ideas, and I believe he's got some contests going on, doesn't he?
Well, the other thing too is Jason was with us in the fall or just before Christmas, and we did a beautiful charcuterie board together. And you know what? That's what the deal is on right now, guys. Any charcuterie board for any gift, like it's a good time to buy them up for Christmas if you want. That way it's done. And we'll gladly ship it to you at no charge. So you've got till the end of the month to make up a decision on that.
Why don't you flip the lid over the other way?
Well, what I'm going to do first is mix it up.
Did you not tell me earlier that Jason's got some contests going on over on his
Yes,
page?
he does, yeah.
So if you head over to juniperbbqscraper.com, you've got a chance to win some great prizes.
On their Facebook, John.
On their Facebook, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
And yeah, just make sure you give him a like when you're over there. It's worth doing. Jason's awesome.
There you go, guys. Look, there's my marinade. There's my mixture. So it's perfect. And I'm going to turn this upside down, please, Joanne, and leave it here and let it sit. All right? And I'm going to get that barbecue started. Now, you ready?
So Stephanie has some Icelandic black salt, and she doesn't know where to use it. I would personally use that as a finishing salt. What would you do?
I would as well, yeah. Finishing salt, or if you're doing like a real brisket or something dark meat, like so on, it's okay to use it there. Otherwise, it just takes over everything. It's too strong. All right, you ready? So my grill is at 750 degrees. It's nice and clean, as you can see, beautiful. And I'm going to take these 2 steaks and I'm going to put them on and fully commit. Boom, just like that. So 1, 2, 3.
I don't believe Chef Ivan is open yet.
Not quite, no.
Now, so you're not going to play with those.
I'm not going to play with them. I'm just going to leave it right there. And I'm going to close my barbecue. And when I move it, I'll move it that way so I can put my grill mat over here for my veggies.
So are you worried about flare-ups with a fat cap on?
No. That's what water bottles are for next to the barbecue.
Oh, is there water in your water bottle?
No, it's empty.
Oh, I kind of figured it was.
Well, my grill mats were here. Where did they go?
I didn't take your grill mats. They should be out here.
Huh. Oh, up here. I knew I moved them.
Is that beautiful dish by Value Village barbecue proof? I think you're going to put your asparagus on a grill mat, correct?
Grill mat.
Grill
there
mat.
we go. So the grill mat is here, and I think I can fit it forward, just like that. Yep. Look at this. That way you guys are happy that it's on.
Jason's sharing some wisdom with us. If you're looking, it's not cooking.
That's right. Look, I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to close it up. There you go. You're right, Jason. All kinds of great barbecue tips. You've got Jason on right now, who is a grill master as well. And it's very important that this is the time to ask those questions. So right now, I'm going to leave the cover off for just about 2-3 minutes. And then I'm going to turn it to the 45. Okay? So here are the tips that you're looking for. Take your left hand. Now, stand up wherever you're at. No, I'm just kidding. We're not in school.
I'm getting the same question over and over again, so can we just answer where the grill mats come from?
The grill mats are from Warmth by Design. Yep, every single grill mats are from Warmth by Design, but I'll tell you right now, there's very little in stock. There's really little in stock, and the reason why is because the manufacturer's having a hard time to keep up with it. They really are. And so here's a couple tips for you when it comes to Warmth by Design, www.warmthbydesign.ca or .com, and you'll be able to reach them right there. And of course, don't forget about our charcuterie board. This is starting to smell already. Remember, it's 700 degrees, so it's ready now to move on to 45. Look how gorgeous those steaks are. So I'm just going to take this steak and move it 90 degrees, I guess, but turn it the other way so I get those nice grill marks.
And once
There.
you close the lid, the flare-ups will go away, correct? Because you
Most
need
times.
oxygen to produce fire.
That's correct.
Or am I wrong in that
No,
assumption?
is this a scientific show?
I don't know. I might be wrong.
All right, so it's smoking. It's beautiful in here. We love our steak medium rare-ish, guys, so that's how we're going to cook it. But you could keep doing exactly what I'm doing now to keep cooking it. So take your left hand and take your right hand and point out your index finger with your right hand. And you basically, I'm going to come closer. I think everybody can see that, Joanne. Am I close enough?
Yes.
All right, so if you take your finger and you touch it on the palm of your hand like this, I know we've done this before, but it's always a good reminder is before the season starts. So if you touch the palm of your hand and you touch the steak and the feeling is the same, then it's rare. Got it? So if you bring your index finger to your thumb and now you touch it, now it's medium rare. See? You touch it, medium rare. So you bring your major finger up, then it's medium. When you to the touch, that is a medium steak. You don't need your thermometer when you think of it, okay? When it comes to steak, because you're just poking holes into your steak.
And losing your juice.
Exactly. So if you bring your other finger up, that's medium well. And if you bring your pinky, that is well done. So to recap, rare is no fingers touching. Medium rare is your index. Medium is your major. Your whatever that one is called is medium well. And
That's
the
your
last
pointer.
one is well done. So that is such a great trick. I mean, you're at the barbecue. You touch your steak, touch the palm. You know exactly where you're at. And when we were in high school, or when we were learning this in culinary school back a few years ago, we used to learn the old-fashioned way. This didn't exist. It wasn't invented yet. So we used our forehead for the well done, our cheek for the rare, and so on, and we'd have dots all over our face by the time the shift was over. All right, so I'm ready to turn these steaks now. Look at that.
So you're not worried about the flame?
Oh, I'm not worried about the flame. No.
Are you worried about the shaft burning down at all?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Are you worried, Joanne?
While I'm sitting by the door. Would you spray that if your bottle had water in it?
I would spray a little bit, yeah.
But you have no water in your bottle. I have coffee. Might give the flavor.
Do you want to get some water or no?
No,
You're not too
I
worried?
can't get out of here.
I'm not worried. I think it looks great. I'm going to leave it open so I get that nice char, but look how right now it's beautiful rare. Nice color. Love it. And what I'm going to do next is take my asparagus, and I don't want too much oil on there, right? So I'm going to move the asparagus from the dish to the top. And I'll start my asparagus on the other side. Look at that.
Is your grill mat still there? I can't see it at all.
My grill mat is there. It has not melted because it is made with copper on the inside and non-melting plastic. Look at that.
Boy, it's a good thing we own a Juniper BBQ Scraper because that barbecue is going to need a good cleaning after this.
You think? So make sure your herbs go in, and then look, follow up with your tomatoes. Are you sort of doubting me, Joanne?
Never.
That's sort of the way it felt there.
Fat's hitting the flame. Be careful out there, chef.
What?
Be careful.
Of what?
The fat is hitting the flame now.
What fat?
On your steak, your fat cap.
Oh, that's okay.
It's a little
Give us
smoky in
that
here,
much
Piggy.
flavor, you guys. Stop the worries. Look, just like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the marinade, and I'm going to add it to that.
What were the two herbs in the,
Chives and basil.
Does the grill mat have holes in it or is it solid?
It's a grill mat, so it's got the holes in it.
And if you have a solid grill mat, can you do steaks on it?
Solid grill mat, you can do a steak on it, but why? You wouldn't get the grill marks as nicely as you would on the mat.
Okay.
Okay, are you smoky?
I'm going to open this window.
Why? No, this is nice.
Can you step over here and hook
I
that?
can hook that.
Figgy's starting to cry.
He is not, Joanne. Now you've opened the window, so now you'll get all the smoke towards your way.
How thick are your steaks?
They're about an inch thick, but look how beautiful they are, guys. Look at that. Look at the beautiful sear on that. Just gorgeous. So you could continue to cook. Now, if you wanted this to be medium well to medium well done, you'd move those to the top and make it cook that way. And all you do for your asparagus, look, give it a roll.
No, there's
Just
no
give it a
black
roll.
flies in here.
What?
No black flies in here.
No, that's for sure. There you go. Nice turn of your asparagus. It creates some char in the flame. And your tomatoes are starting to blister. And I'm going to take the medium board. And look, I'm going to move the medium board right here.
So what is the difference between burn and char?
Char is a fancier word for burnt, I guess. The charring is the
Home
flavor.
cooks burn and chef's char.
What?
Home cooks burn and chef's char.
Well, I suppose you could say that if you want to, if you really insist. All right, so I got my charcuterie board right here. You guys can see that well.
And that is which size? I believe that is the medium
That is the
charcuterie
medium.
board. Also from Juniper BBQ Scrapers.
Correct.
The name is Juniper BBQ Scrapers, but they do more than just barbecue scrapers.
You know what, Joe? I'm going to check my steak at this point. So I use this method. I touch my steak. Look, it's medium rare. Perfect. Perfect. So
And how
I'm going
long-
to take the steak off.
Now,
Almost like a Chicago style. And I'm going to put this one here and let it rest for a good 3 to 5 minutes.
so you do not want to cut into that steak right away.
You don't. You'll lose a lot of your juices if you do that, right? So now I know that this side is ready. My tomatoes are perfectly blistered. I'm going to turn this burner off on that side, just like that. And Joanne, what I'm going to do now is dress up this board.
And there's no problem putting food directly onto these boards. They clean up so easily.
Yeah, they sure do.
And I find even if they get a bit of staining from the balsamic vinegar, now you got me saying it wrong, balsamic vinegar, eventually, because of the type of wood it is, the larch wood, that just disappears.
It does. Maybe Jason can answer that question too, because it works. All right, look at those beautiful asparagus, you guys. And that grill mat is a game changer when it comes to your barbecue. No question about it.
And y'all is smoky in here, isn't it?
All right, now I need to put those blistered tomatoes on there.
What is the price of the
Open.
medium board, please?
Please check our website. It's can you do that, Joe? Check the website.
I can in a moment. Where in Georgia is that balsamic vinegar from? Our friend Donna on St. Simon Island owns Golden Isle olive oil, and she's got this amazing store, tons of great food products with a beautiful little restaurant attached.
And it's the similar franchise of oil as Liquid Gold.
Can you pick up that tomato off the floor before your
Well, I'm
before
gonna
your
finish
girl has a
taking my
fit?
tomatoes first.
You do not want to eat a hot tomato. No, you don't. When do you salt your steaks? Before or after grilling?
When do I what?
When do you salt your steaks? Before or after grilling?
Before.
Before.
Yeah, that's what we just did. Yeah.
And yeah, the stain would look like part of the board. I think it adds lots of character to it. There, it's all gone, Figgy.
Okay, so my mat, everything is shut off. So you could easily, at this point, if you wanted to, take your Juniper scraper and scrape that grill off if you wanted to. Personally, I don't like doing that.
Thank you, Mike Mead. Medium charcuterie board is $150 on the website, and if you order now, there is no shipping.
That's the medium or the large?
Medium.
Medium. And the small?
Mike, can you check the small too, please?
Sorry, Mike. All right, so that's my barbecue. There's my grill mat. I'm gonna show you the grill mat. And to clean the grill mat is pretty easy. You just bake it, take it outside, and just give it a good shake. And all these particles will come right off. Very easy. And in this case, I could just stick it out the window and give it a shake and it would work.
And then I like to soak it in the sink for a few minutes, and
You do.
anything that's left on there. Small is 90. Thanks, Mike. Mike is part of the Kilted Chef team. If you have any
Mike is our book designer.
our book design, yes, Mike is the one that designed all of those beautiful ebooks that you got, and he also works on our labels.
Box, thank you cards, etc. All right, so how long have we been resting this now, Joanne?
Can I let her down?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
There's no food on the ground. All right. So the marinade, let's recap this while I'm resting the steak. So the marinade, I've got a quarter of a cup of olive oil, a quarter of a cup of maple syrup, and a quarter of a cup of balsamic vinegar. Balsamic vinegar. And I've got some salt, pepper, oregano, and chives. You can use whatever herbs you like. And of course, it's best if you do this overnight. You could just use a simple Ziploc bag if that works easier for you. Put it into the refrigerator, let it sit there overnight. Occasionally, when you go in to check if there's something to eat, you just roll the bag and just give it a marinade, and you're ready to go. The steaks themselves were marinated. These are ribeye steaks, bone on, cap on, and they're 1 inch thick, and they're from Atlantic Beef, our friends on PEI. And I use salt, pepper, and I use olive oil, and I use salt, olive oil, and Badass Burger Booster for now, but you could use any seasoning that you'd like, okay? And if you're like me, you like to chew on the bone, so that's another process that we'll add to this. You'll see, I'll show you that when it's time. So first thing I'm going to do is cut the first steak into pieces. I'm going to cut them in about 1.5 inches wide and perfectly pile them on the charcuterie board so you can serve the whole board. And people can eat what they want versus eating, like giving a whole steak like this to one person tends to be too much. It's just a lot of meat.
I think an average serving is 4 ounces of meat. How many ounces do you think those are?
I don't know.
I'd say 52.
I'm going to cut those, Joanne, in that nice 1 inch sort of slice. My knife is nice and sharp, you guys.
Badass Burger Seasoning is making its way out into the stores. It's on our website now, but there are a few places in Pictou County that have it.
Hans Otto is the only one that has it right now in Pictou.
Plumtree and Antigonish.
Plumtree and Antigonish, Warmth by Design in Onslow, and the Pork Shop and Logan's Daily Catch.
The grill,
as well in New Glasgow.
Where can you buy that grill that you're using today?
That grill that you have there right now, Warmth by Design, is where I would recommend. There's no question they do such a great job. But not only do they do a good job, they also do a great service as well. So there's your beautiful steak. Look how gorgeous that is, Joanne. Just like that. And I'm going to take my little spatula, which I have back here.
Lemonade General Store is going to be getting it soon. It's just, we're working out the logistics of getting it there.
Look at that.
Holly says if there's too much food on her plate, she loses her appetite.
You're not alone, Holly. I'm the same way. But this is what you're looking for. Look at that. This is nice. I was looking for medium rare. So there's that beautiful color that I'm looking for. So if you put it like this, and you could just keep piling on this board and just fan it out a little bit. Look, that looks beautiful.
Just a quick reminder, if you're new joining us, every day at 3 rather, we all cook together, and then that same evening, usually around 8 p.m., a recipe and final photo gets posted. So if you've missed Al's recap of the marinade, you can find it there this evening.
That's right. Good work, Joanne. Look, I'm going to leave this part out for now.
I really like the idea of the strips, too, because there's no way I could eat one of those steaks.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Look, and I'm just going to keep piling it. And people can, that way, it's not embarrassing your guests, too. Some guests, if you do, like you really want, I think Martha would really enjoy this. And you put this great big steak in front of her and him or her, and they may not enjoy that. So you're better off not to do that. Okay, I meant to keep this piece, and I meant to display this piece so everybody can see it. But that is basically the look and feel of the charcuterie board implementation. So basically from now till the end of May, okay, you could buy a charcuterie board and just put in the comments, pick local pickup, and tell us where to ship it, and we will ship it from there. Right in the comments, there's a remark area. And you could pile on whatever you want, and we will ship that to you as soon as we can. We have some boards coming in this week, and we have some scrapers coming in this week as well.
And head over to juniperbarbqscrapers.com. Check out Jason's products. He does beautiful, beautiful work. He's also teamed up with an artist from the Rocky Harbor area, and together they produce some amazing boards. And go to his Facebook page for a chance to win some great prizes.
Big time. All right, what do you think, Joanne?
Oh, so
you got that nice charriness of the steak. The marble is perfect, nice and fatty.
I might not even need HP sauce.
No, don't you like the char though?
It's beautiful.
So there you have it, guys. Cooking with Juniper Scraper right here in the shack. That's the beginning of our barbecue week. Tomorrow we are teamed up with our friends at the pork shop. We're going to do a capicola steak. We're going to introduce you to a steak that you're going to love, and I'll tell you the whole story behind it, how it came about, and where it came to, and where it's
Pork
at.
steak.
That is pork steak, yep.
Yeah.
We're making the rounds. All right, guys, do you want a close-up of this? If you do, I'll give you a good close-up of this. Here we go.
See, Jason, if you were here, that would be your dinner.
Look at that, you guys. That is good. Don't know what you threw at me there, Joanne.
About the water bottle.
There's the asparagus. Nice, colorful. I love, what you'll love on the asparagus is that chard. That chard that's on that side there and the char there, and it was so easy to do, right? Look at that gorgeous steak. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. This is the rest of the shack that you're not seeing. It takes place, that's the view from our shack, that's the water, there's the farmer working hard in his field, getting it ready, and of course, this is the other big window that you guys don't get to see. So, hashtag stay in love. We appreciate the fact that you join us every day.
Quick question.
Let's open it up to questions for a little bit and go from there.
How long was the asparagus on the grill for, would you say?
Sorry, I had a little bone in my mouth there. I'm going to say, I put the asparagus when I flipped it, so I'm going to say no more than maybe 10 minutes.
And we will mention in the recipe that that should marinate for a couple hours for
That's right.
for the best flavor.
For sure.
Perfect.
No other questions, Joanne?
That's it. We're good to go.
All right, folks. Hashtag stay in love. We will see you here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And, of course, we got lots on the go.
Huge thank you to Jason Janes for hanging out with us virtually.
Joe, we appreciate that. All the way from Deer Lake, Newfoundland, of course.
I thought he was in Humber Valley.
Oh, he is, but that's in Deer Lake.
Oh, is it?
Yep. Sorry. I know you don't go there very often. It's not quite in Deer Lake, but it's close enough. And people will refer it to knowing where it's at.
Gotcha.
And his boards are incredible, guys. Honestly, give us a call. We'll look after you. And we'd love to sell you any of the boards that we have. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great
Hashtag
night,
stay in
everyone.
love.